Today, we're gonna be raising the man. Burning Man spoiler alert. If you don't like spoilers, this is your heads up to turn off now.
What was it? 93 feet to the center. 186 feet center to center. That'll be fun.
Erection of the man, the centerpiece of Black Rock City.
It's a real honor and a real privilege to be part of the core team that puts the man up there.
So I'm Haggis, Andrew Johnston, and I'm the designer of the man base. I think this is my 8th. I'll get the hang of it one day. I have furniture in my house that's not as beautifully made as this, you know. And they know for a fact that it's only up for a week and then we burn it. But look at this. There's no reason to do this other than love, right? It's an object of joy to put that much craft and detail into something. And they know for a fact that nobody's ever going to get this close to see it, and yet it happens anyway, you know, which is speaks loudly to who they are as people and how committed they are to what they're doing. I mean, we all do a bit, you know, but the man crew are just astonishing people. If they were dentists, I'd have them fix my teeth, you know what I mean? They're competent, give a shit people.
Who the f are you?
Mayonnaise crew! Mayonnaise crew!
What'd you get up to do at 3:30?
We came out here and laid some floors. We try to come out here and beat the heat of the day. Get some crazy folk out here.
And the wind.
And the wind. God damn the wind.
Yeah, this was the most brutal wind ever.
Well, it's not that I don't think it's brutal, just that we have these massive sails that we're putting up.
Yeah.
This is the first year that we're like, oh, why don't we just put up 328 flat, heavy walls?
I feel like it's the most consistent days of afternoon winds. Mm-hmm. Those zephyrs are just consistent every day.
Well, I really like this whole morning thing. We work last year into the night, and you get tired at night, but you're working the same amount, but you fool yourself. You know, by noon, we've already worked 8 hours.
Yep.
Right? And it's like, oh, day's more than half over.
Yep.
Hi, Chipper.
Hi.
Who are you? What do you do?
What do I do? This stuff here, build walls and then put them in. So we started in April for the man, and then May in Reno, we started building all of these walls. I think we built 286 diaphragms that are segments that are up to 8 feet wide. And then we got out here and started stitching them together and flying them in the air to put together a building. Is the man important to Burning Man? Absolutely. It's definitely the thing that started this crazy event, is burning a guy like that. And I like that we've turned it into such crazy big structures that burn so bright and hot. So it's a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun spending so much time building something knowing it's just going to burn to the ground.
It's like a symbol at this point. Sort of just how it has to be. And I think a lot of people that work on it take a lot of pride in the work they do for it. Not like egos, but just like it's a special piece.
Thank you.
Boop.
Same on the other
Robot
side.
man.
Let's see. Thank you. My name is Mary Poppins, and I've done a magnitude of different things around here in the city in a short period of time. And this year, I'm in charge of putting this together and putting it up on top of the piece as a volunteer. So I took a year and took less responsibility, which is fun. Last night, we had a big waxing party, and it's an old tradition Crimson Rose has been doing for a long, long time. And it's always fun to see her stir in the cauldron like a big, you know, with her laugh and everything else. So It was a good time. We had hundreds of people get their hands on it, which is always really special. And you know, for a few hours we dipped burlap sacks in the wax and then baled them together, and that's what you see kind of here and all through the arms and legs. And what that allows us is when the man catches fire, the wax will draw it all the way up, and so that's what allows it to burn and burn through this larger member. So that's why we wax them. We've got rigging here, which is what allows the arms to raise. And we're gonna, again this year, we're gonna do it with a manual pull, which is gonna be super fun. So off the 6 o'clock, a lot of the builders and whatnot and others will come in and we'll get a big rope, and that's how the arms will go up before the burn. And we're getting the neon on, which you're seeing here. The Smoke Daddy and his crew has been doing that for ages.
My name is Smoke Daddy. I'm the neon designer. It's best to describe me as the man's tailor. You know, every year I cut him a new suit out of glass, and I try to make him stylish and well-fitting. Tomorrow's a very exciting day. They're going to lift the man. We've never had this much glass on the man for a lift before, but Bruiser says it's fine. And if Bruiser says it's fine, I'll go with it. I trust that man more than anyone I've ever met. He's been doing this as long as I have, and he is one of the best I've ever seen. So if he says he can do it, I have absolute belief in his ability, and I look forward to seeing it. This year is about Larry. It's predominantly blue because Larry always liked blue, and we were going to do blue anyway. I talked to him about it before he left. The white is, you know, a sine wave. It's an active motion, and it doesn't stop. It goes up the sides of the man, and the wavelength doesn't stop. The messenger may be silent, but the message continues. And that's what this talks about. It also talks about you can see the fire in the belly expand up through the chest and fill the torso with light. I hate to use the phrase energy portrait because I've never actually seen one that works. But this is one of the few times where I could see that being used here. It's describing the energy and the light that I felt around him in the essence of the man.
Why do you do this?
It's still fun. This is the 21st man I've put glass on. And I'm still not at the end of the learning curve. I'm always trying to say something with the glass. I'm always trying to say something with the colors. And usually it's probably a little too esoteric to work. But every now and then you get a simple, straightforward design like this that I think will be successful. I think it will express the idea that this message continues. The wavelength does not stop. The man crew, they were on hiatus for about two or 3 years, and the man suffered terribly. You know, being the man's tailor, I measure him out every year. I can tell you precisely how he's changed, you know, in every year, and every year he's an inch or two different. You know, every year there's a few degrees different, not much, but when the man crew works on the man, you can tell the difference. They love this thing. It's done to it's done to furniture degree, you know, a furniture degree of perfection. They do things that you can't possibly see from the viewing distance, but it doesn't stop them.
And yeah, this is all fun, super detailed. This is a lot of something that's the crew takes a lot of care into.
The detail, the love that went into it. I mean, look at those. Look at those edges. They're just beautiful. Just with such care. That'd be a good send-off in the heart.
This is the heart of the man, dedicated to Larry. His call sign is Swordfish, and it's skewering a Stenson, so it's passing of the hat.
And you know Larry's walking around with a smoking a cigarette, doing all that.